First off, it needs to be stated that with this video, I continue to expand my skill set as a YouTuber and a content creator, and I have solidified myself at the very top of the YouTube greats of all time. I am the MVP of YouTube. It does not get better than me here on this platform. Dead Metal has taken YouTube by storm, and in a little over a year, I have created an army of soldiers ready to take back gaming, and I have single-handedly devised a following of which cannot be matched. But with great success also comes the haters, those of you commenting on my videos calling me a troll, calling me an idiot, etc., etc. Well, you dumb motherfuckers, continue to bring on the hate, continue to smash the dislike button, see if I give two shits. You're interacting with the video and you're giving me feedback and you're shoving me into the YouTube algorithm, getting me in front of more eyes. So please continue to leave me comments and continue to hate because you're just giving me more fame. Now, on to the actual reason for this video. This is a full-blown documentary on how you, as we previously discovered in the last video, how you ruined the gaming industry. You sad, pathetic little bastard. Well, we have to go back a little ways because gaming wasn't always like this. You see, 10 to 15, even 20 years ago, gaming was in a place where it was slowly becoming mainstream. We had risk-taking developers not afraid to put themselves in a position of vulnerability in the name of creativity, in the name of innovation, and in the name of motherfucking fun. And that is what is missing from the industry today. You see, back in the day, you had adventurous developers who were not chasing a buck. They were chasing the high of seeing somebody playing a game, experiencing something they had never experienced before, seeing a smile come over their face, seeing it click in their mind whenever they figured out a solution to a puzzle they'd been chipping away at for the last 15 minutes, or they finally figured out the boss's attack pattern and they beat it and they were experiencing the final cutscene of a game, or when they finally got that last collectible that they had been scouring planet to planet, level to level for. That type of innovation and fun and game development simply does not exist today. Do you guys remember, most of my audience are these crybaby Generation Z fuckers who grew up with this shit, all right? Their childhood memories are tainted by the likes of Fortnite and Overwatch and Call of Duty. These aren't what gaming was about. These aren't fun. These aren't things that I put anywhere near the height of gaming. Only dumb, simple-minded, dumb as dirt motherfuckers put those titles among the pinnacles of gaming. But you stupid motherfuckers probably do that. You Generation Z crybabies, you're almost as bad as the millennials. You see, the problem here is that everything was ruined with the birth of your generation. You all crafted single-handedly the downfall of gaming. Back in the day, there were no patches for games. You got a game on a disc and the game fucking worked. There were no updates to resolve low FPS issues on launch day. There were no, oh, yeah, the game's broken, but we're going to fix it in a day one patch post on all of the social media sites. You did not see people actually advising, don't pick this one up on launch. It's broken. Try it again in 6 months. That shit literally did not happen until your fucking generation came along. All right? Yeah, you can argue that the digital storm that was hanging over this industry was going to loom and take hold when it did, but all the other bullshit did not have to. You really think that if Bethesda hadn't sold horse armor, that the horrible trend that became downloadable content wouldn't have caught on, and we wouldn't see scumbag developers literally locking content on the disc out behind a paywall? Yeah, 99 cents, $1.99. Doesn't seem like a whole lot when you're talking about unlocking an extra level or two, but extrapolate that. All right? You simple minded fucks don't see the big picture. You're not business literate. You have no business sense like I do. All right? I've been on the other side of this equation. All right? I spent 10 fucking years managing a business. I spent half a decade in business analytics and the other half overseeing a very large project management operation. I've got years in the finance industry. Basically, to summarize it, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You should listen to me because I know one language. I know money and business sense is how I operate. You really think that this shit wouldn't have caught on if people didn't buy it, if people didn't show up with their wallet in one hand and their need for instant gratification in the other? Fuck Bethesda for introducing horse armor, but seriously, fuck each and every one of you who paid for it even more. You started a trend that has, up until recently, completely decimated the landscape of this industry. All right. Downloadable content is a creation from Satan. Downloadable content is the death of video games because these dumb fuckers, these dumb morons are forking out money for shit that should have been included in your $60 package. But you clowns don't see it that way. No, you bought the PR response. You remember how the game companies spun this bullshit initially? Oh, well, this is optional content. This is to subsidize the costs and help continue funding game development, which is getting more and more expensive. This is an optional way to expand your game and enhance your experience. You can continue playing your favorite game with new levels after you beat it. Yeah, that's the lie they spun to you. And you bought it. Quite literally, you bought that shit. You bought the $60 Call of Duty DLC packs that were literally the equivalent cost of the game. You paid double to unlock levels that should have been bundled in. You bought all the Fallout 3 DLC, where they had to go back and fix the ending. You bought Mass Effect 3 DLC after they disrespected you with that ending. Biggest slap in the face I've ever seen, and the worst ending to one of the greatest trilogies gaming has ever seen. And you continued to support them by buying the Leviathan, the Omega, and that horrible Citadel DLC. Fucking clowns, each and every one of you. Downloadable content became commonplace. And as unfortunate as it is, and as badly as I don't want to make this next statement, that was not the end of it. That was only the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, of the death of the greatest entertainment medium the world has ever known, and the death of what I once looked to as the greatest hobby one could experience. But you motherfuckers had to ruin it like you ruin everything else. You don't deserve to live on Earth. You really fucking don't. So, every company in the world adopts DLC. They see that it's successful. They see that the simple-minded idiots are going to open up their pocketbooks, write out the blank check, and they're going to scream up and down for more content. What comes next? What could possibly be better than downloadable content? What would you idiots be willing to pay for next? Well, it's no surprise that loot boxes, literal gambling, slithered its way into our pastime. Yes, now not only are we going to charge you for additional content, we're not going to tell you what the fuck the content is ahead of time. Could be a skin, could be a voice line, could be a fucking badge, could be anything, could be a weapon skin, could be a weapon itself, could be some timed exclusive power-up bonus. You don't know, and that's the problem. That is the fucking issue. But you know what? Loot boxes were 10 times more successful than DLC because they can get them to you. They can shovel that shit out to you at a cheaper price. You're going to buy it. You want to spin the box. Oh, just one more time, Mommy. I just want to play the box one more time. I got to get this skin. I got to get this gun. Seriously, we have literally created an entire generation of gambling addicts that are being fed an automated gambling addiction through their video games. Now imagine that shit. You think mommy and daddy care? No. They're just going to shut their kid up by giving them their credit card number and telling them, one more spin, little Johnny, but that's all you're having today. Fucking clowns, man. both the parents and the kids. But you know what? Everybody grows up sometime. You got to realize that you're responsible for your own decisions. And if you are an adult, age 18 or older, paying for a loot box, you need to put the controller down. You need to break your goddamn system in half. And you need to call the gambling addiction hotline. Because I and a very small group of people, dedicated gamers, the type of gamers that you people wish you were, we have never spent a penny on skins, on loot boxes, or anything of the sort. We scoff at season passes, and we think that most, not all, but most downloadable content is a joke. There are exceptions, but we would never partake in this ridiculously egregious practice that has become commonplace in this industry, known as loot boxes. Loot boxes are a literal cancer ripping through this goddamn industry. And you fucking clowns support it. Seriously, you can go online, you can go on Facebook, and you see everybody, oh, I hate loot boxes. They're literally in denial because they're the same motherfuckers whipping out the credit card. They're the same motherfuckers paying for these loot boxes, trying to get skins and power-ups so that they can have something that makes them feel more worthwhile, something that they feel they have that gives them a better feeling because somebody else doesn't have it. Imagine getting your feeling of self-worth and a sense of superiority because of virtualized gambling, not even tangible gambling. You want to go into a casino, that's a whole other issue. At least you could possibly walk out with some money. We're talking virtualized gambling where there is no physical end product. What a fucking joke. Oh my God, you people disgust me. But with that, do you really think that's the end of it? Do you honestly believe that it can't get worse? Well, now you really need to sit back and take a second look at the industry and the generation that we're dealing with. Because I have some bad news. It gets a whole hell of a lot worse. This next group of people, they don't just disgust me. They don't make me sick. I don't just think they're lazy, and I don't just think they're entitled. They are the scum of the earth. They literally lack the cognitive ability to realize that they're paying for something that defeats the whole purpose of the medium they're attempting to enjoy. Yes, my friends, there actually is a group of people who pay for the Call of Duty and Battlefield Fast Track Unlock passes, which gift you either additional loadout slots or the weapons and perks that you get from normally progressing through the game. Now let that sink in for a minute. I'm going to be silent for about 15 seconds, and I want you to imagine paying the developer and publisher money so you don't have to play the game. What the fuck is wrong with you? You paid $60 to $70 for a game, a primarily multiplayer focused game, and you're forking over more money so that you can unlock the game's unlockables and the progression that was designed around having you play the game more? Somebody needs to explain this to me, and you don't need to look any further as to how bad this can be than the Star Wars Battlefront 2 controversy. All right, EA, as greedy as they are, rubbing their little hands together, scheming, how can we get more money? How can we drain their wallets? Designed to ramp up the amount of time it would take to unlock all of their fucking unlockables so much so that you would buy their goddamn star cards and you would buy their in-game currency or however the fuck they have it set up. I wouldn't know. I don't play horrible fucking games from a horrible fucking company. So that people would be like, all right, you know what? I'm not dumping 800 hours into this so I can unlock Darth Vader. I'm just going to pay for it. That's literally how that game was set up. And even though they came back and went back on their word and fixed it, that stain is forever on EA's skin. They will never get rid of that. But I don't even blame EA for that. I blame you. This is, again, a documentary about how you ruined the gaming industry. And there are still people doing it too. All right? You want to talk about people paying money so that they can get leveled up faster so they don't have to play the game. Imagine buying a 100% story-based campaign game that lasts 10 hours, but being able to pay for a slingshot move that'll catapult you into the last 3 hours of the game. That's literally the equivalent of what this is doing. You're paying so that you don't have to play the game that you paid for. You are literally the definition of a scumbag, the definition of a one-brain-celled moron if you are doing this. And I know that each and every one of you who are subscribed to this channel are not doing that. You support me. But the clowns downvoting and commenting that I'm an idiot, 100% are doing that. And you are the literal reason that this industry has a black cloud hanging over it and why gaming is falling further and further away from the mainstream. Could you actually imagine wanting to get into video games? Maybe you weren't exposed to it as a child. Maybe it was just never your thing. But people change as they get older. People change and get new hobbies all the time. Could you imagine looking into this industry, thinking that you can experience new worlds, gameplays, use your brain in new ways, get to have some fun, experience captivating stories, maybe get online with multiplayer and start having fun with your friends, and seeing this shit greet you? Literally, this has infested damn near every multiplayer game. As soon as you log in, it wants your money. It wants your credit card number. There's some sort of limited promotion going on where they're going to sit there and promote the fear of missing out, telling you that there's only 4 hours left to give over your credit card information or you're going to miss this super awesome power-up or this super awesome loot box. And then after you click past that screen, there's even more big giant icons telling you there's some special deal going on. Hey, come give us money because we want your money at the end of the day. To actually play a multiplayer game in 2021 is fucking painful because the amount of shit you have to wade through of the publishers dangling their little hooks trying to get their fucking claws into your wallet is nothing short of sickening. And you pay for it too. You dumb motherfuckers don't know how to click past all the screens to get to the meat of the game. It's, well, I guess I could use these extra guns, or, well, I might as well take my chance at the loot box. I mean, after all, this ends in 4 hours. I don't want to miss out. It's just disappointing. It's so fucking saddening that you with your fear of missing out, you with your need, your absolute desire for instant gratification have infested this industry to the point where somebody looking to come in is met with this shit. Or they're told in the case of Mass Effect and Fallout, oh, you didn't like the original ending? Well, we made a new one for you, but you either need to be connected to the internet, in the case of Mass Effect, to download it, or in Fallout, you actually need to be willing to pony up the dough to experience our jerry-rigged ending where we go back and actually let you play past the end of the campaign and God knows what else I haven't experienced. But this shit is an absolute abhorrent horror that has taken over gaming. You don't see this shit in other industries. Only gamers have to bend over and get absolutely fucked in the ass with no lube. And it's your fault. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. Do you think the gamers in the prime of your 2002s, your 2004s, your 2005s, do you think those guys would look at the 2021 gamer who has an average age of about 6, who has an average IQ of about 11, sitting there playing Fortnite, paying money for skins in a game? Do you think those two groups of people are the same? No, they are not. There was a split. It was a slow split because some people dipped when DLC started becoming mainstream. Some people dipped when microtransactions became mainstream. A lot of people dipped when loot boxes become mainstream. All right? And you take those groups of people who just got so sick of the shit that was fucking with what they like to do, who remember the good old days like I do, and they look at what constitutes a gamer today, an 11-year-old who's focused on playing Fortnite and Warzone, and they are not the same groups of people, all right? PlayStation 2 and OG Xbox and GameCube gamers, those were the real fucking OGs of gaming, all right? They knew what gaming was about. It wasn't about sucking money out of the player's pocket. It was about putting down your $60, getting a complete experience, getting an innovative video game that was worth your money, beating it, sitting back and getting a sense of fulfillment, not wondering if you're going to need to drop $20 on the next DLC, wondering if it's going to change the ending, not needing to keep up with the ever-evolving multiplayer landscape where they change the damage and the recoil of guns every other day and you constantly have to keep up with the meta, otherwise you're completely lost. Games that monetize themselves, single player, multiplayer, live service. The whole concept of live service games would make the OG gamer that I'm talking about, that I am, and that my fans are, that whole concept of a live service game makes them laugh their fucking ass off because they know the people who become slaves to these games like Destiny and The Division are defeating the whole purpose of what gaming originally was. If you're involved in those kind of games, like your Warframes and all that bullshit, you're not playing a video game. The video game's playing you. They're literally luring you in by making you feel like you have to log in and get your daily rewards, spend some more money. You've become a slave. The game has become a job. The game, and by extent, the fucking publisher, is playing you. We didn't really even talk about live service games. I'm glad I brought that up. What a fucking joke. Oh no, it's the best thing ever. It's a constantly evolving world. We're going to make the game fresh, constantly add more content, and we're going to make it so good over time. It's going to be a game that continues to be relevant. Your game that continues to be relevant is only relevant insofar as they need people to continue dumping money into it for skins, dumping money into it for loot boxes, and who the fuck knows what else. Ubisoft being one of the main offenders of this, but we also see it in EA, and we've seen it in Bungie. I mean, there's a whole bunch of fucking people. Activision do it. Pretty much any multiplayer shooter has been infested with these fucking tentacles, these fucking claws of live service. Remember back in the day when Xbox Live was just getting started and PSN was just really getting off the ground? Multiplayer wasn't like that. All right, you didn't have to worry about missing out on some massive update that they're dropping that's literally going to blow apart the entire landscape, all right, and make you start from scratch, or these games that wipe their entire level progression. Imagine that. Imagine dumping 100 hours into a multiplayer game and knowing that your progress is going to get reset and they're going to wipe it all out. What the fuck is the point? What the hell do you have to show for it? At least MMOs like World of Warcraft, as predatory as they are, charging a monthly subscription fee for a video game, have the goddamn decency to let you retain your character and your level. There is no fucking wipe there. But a lot of these fucking live service games will drop a nuke, reset all your progress, and then you're back at zero. But even if they don't do that, live service is a fucking joke. Live service means continue giving us money well after you've paid for your $60 product, because we're going to continue charging you. We're going to drop expansions that make you feel like you're left out. You're not going to pay for the loot boxes. Well, then you're not going to get the best guns. You're going to have to grind for 100, 200, 300 hours in order to have a shot at getting them. This is the problem. This is the problem. These aren't video games anymore, people. These are not fun-filled experiences designed to stimulate you in new and creative ways. These are greed-filled jobs. That's what these live service games are, greed-filled jobs. They're designed to make you slave away to the game and make you feel so fucking beat down by how much you have to grind and slave away that you just give them your credit card. They'll leave an enticing gameplay loop. There's something that feels kind of satisfying, but not all the way there. And they're hoping that little extra bit, right? They'll give you 90%. They want you to go the extra 10 by forking over a credit card, hoping that you'll actually feel some sense of satisfaction after you get the big gun, after you get the awesome skin. They don't give that shit away for free, all right? Nothing's free in the world of video games. If you haven't learned that, you are a dumb motherfucker. But you are anyway. You ruin this industry with everything we've talked about today. Downloadable content, microtransactions, skins, loot boxes, live service games. You have spent money on all of this trash. All right? I don't pay for downloadable content. Not anymore. All right. I wait. Game of the Year edition always has it bundled in and drops to $20. I don't pay for season passes. All right. If you're going to be so ballsy as to try to lock content out of a multiplayer game, unless I pony up another $60, I'm not touching your shit with a 10-foot pole. I don't play live service games. If you're not giving me a complete experience when I spend damn near $70 on your product, I don't want anything to do with your product. You can fucking keep it. And you are fucking kidding yourself if you think I've spent money on a skin. Are you shitting me? You want to change the color of a coat, wear a different shirt in a virtual game? I go buy clothes for real, motherfucker. I go buy skins in real life, all right? I buy different shirts, different hoodies, different clothes, whatever. Go try that. Go play dress up for real if that's the shit that you care about. And I damn sure have never and will never pay for a fucking loot box. Because everything else, at least you know what you're getting. Loot boxes, virtualized gambling where I can't go cash out at the end to take my money home. You gotta be the biggest fucking joke of them all. You gotta be a real fucking court jester to pay for loot boxes. But that's what you Generation Z and millennials do. You don't know what it's like to work for what you want. You're out here with your need for instant gratification and you got daddy's credit card and you think you're gonna go spend some money. And that mindset is exactly how the downfall of the gaming industry began, and it is why I continue to warn my people this dark cloud looming over our current industry at present time is not going anywhere soon. Microtransactions are booming. People continue to fork over money for this bullshit. It's just going to get worse and worse, people. But Dead Metal's here to stop it. See, everybody likes to think that I'm just fucking with you when I say I'm taking back the gaming industry. No, if you donate to me on Patreon, that money's going one place, to fix this industry. And I've got several projects in the works, all right? We're going to have Dead Metal, the game, come out, all right? I need to employ coders. I need to hire environmental artists, and I need to hire some people to storyboard a script. But Dead Metal, the game, will be like those games of yesteryear. If you grew up playing PlayStation 2, OG Xbox, Wii, PS3, 360, I'm bringing that shit back. Dead Metal, the game, will literally inherit the greatest things about that generation with none of the baggage of the time, all right? We're talking modern graphics, modern gameplay styles, so you don't feel outdated, but we're going to bring everything that was great from that generation back. And I need your financial support to do it. So head on over to Patreon, kick $1 or $2 my way, and let's make Dead Metal, the game, a fucking reality. Because the current industry and the trash they're shoveling out these days could not be any further from what myself and the OG gamers remember as being fun.